Yo, ho, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I know you feel it. I know you smell it. I know you can't touch it just yet. But 2021 is on its way, and we are live and direct for episode 2 of MMA Reloaded's newest segment on the mic. Now, you may have seen us do 2 cents on YouTube before with my face and my face only, no guest. But why not introduce something new, something a bit more wild to the people? And we introduce on the mic where it's my face to your screens, no guest. Of course, folks, behind me, right here, you can see them live and direct in person. MMA Reloaded merch. There is a lot more than this, folks. Trust me. There is a lot more than that. Head over to MMAReloaded.co.uk to get your MMA Reloaded merch. Now, you know what I mean? Don't miss out. It's never too late to join the revolution. You wear it with pride and you wear it with passion. That is what the MMA Reloaded name stands for. Folks, there is a lot to cover right now. There is a lot to cover. What are we looking forward to in MMA 2021? You look forward to the 3 Fight Island events that the UFC is going to put on. First up, and we kick off January the 16th with Max Holloway taking on Calvin Kattar. Now, this one, folks, is huge. It's huge. Not only is it going to be a classic to set the tone for 2021, but it's going to be a classic which sets the tone for the featherweight division as a whole. Yeah? So it's going to set the tone for the featherweight division as a whole. All right? Max Holloway, after coming off that rematch loss to Alexander Volkanovski, where fans are thinking, yo, who the fuck judged that fight? Who judged Holloway versus Volkanovski 2? Cecil Peoples. Yeah? Some bullshit judge judged Max Holloway Volkanovski 2. And in my opinion, and in millions of fans' opinion, screwed Max Holloway out of regaining the UFC featherweight championship. So, what does Max do? He laces him up. He knuckles up again, and he returns at Fight Island 7 to take on one of, I would say, the most exciting, one of the biggest breakthrough fighters in the past 2-3 years. No doubt about that. Calvin Kattar, New England strong, Boston strong. He goes by many names, but there is no doubt in my mind, this man has every tool in the box to become a UFC champion. Ain't no doubt about that. But who wins that fight? That's the penultimate question. Who wins that main event? Yeah? Max Holloway coming in the favor. Max Holloway's coming in on a mission to reclaim, redeem, and rebuild the blessed era. Calvin Kattar is coming in to tear the blessed era down and build his era. New England Cartel, along with Rob Font, who put on a great performance in his return to the cage against Marlon Moraes. Now, folks, before we move on, bantamweight division, yeah, featherweight, the lightweights, the welterweights, we'll be covering it all for you here today, tonight, however, what time of day it is there in your countries and your regions, we'll be covering it in this episode for y'all heading into 2021. So, folks, when you look at the next Fight Island event, you look at Khamzat Chimaev versus Leon Edwards. What the fuck, man? Got one time. There's no time for that. What? Alright, so you look at Khamzat Chimaev versus Leon Edwards. You look at the fact that Khamzat Chimaev has been pushed faster than anyone I've ever seen be pushed in UFC. Even faster than Volkan Ozdemir, even faster than Francis Ngannou, even faster than Conor McGregor. Conor at least went through Diego Brandao. He went through Dennis Siva. He went through a tough guys. Marcus Brimage. I have to say, it wasn't the cream of the crop to get to the belt, to get to the title shot against Aldo. And then you had all the controversies, but Conor at least came in and fought and knocked and starched guys out. Dustin Poirier in that mix and Max Holloway. So when you look at Khamzat Chimaev's push, and you look at the welterweight and you look at that middleweight division, what does that say to you? What does that say? You know what it says to me, yeah? I'm going to be real honest right now. Ain't no script here, yeah? So I'm going to be real honest. It's bullshit. That's what it says to me. It's bullshit, bro. The guy's strong. The guy's powerful. The guy's legit fire. But to actually build up and build a reputation in the UFC, it takes a lot more than taking 2 fights in 10 days. That's respectable. No one does that, man. But that's what I call jumping at the opportunity. Yeah? And you defeat some depleted 35-year-old English veteran in your first fight. Then you go on and you do a newcomer, Reese McKee, in your second. But who are they? Who are they? Nobody. He comes in against Gerald Meerschaert. I'll say his only real test in the UFC so far was Gerald Meerschaert, and he starched Gerald in round number 1. But it was a depleted Gerald. Gerald come out like this. He come out flat-footed, yeah. And he's like trying to, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he comes out like this, yeah. And what does Khamzat do? One time, bang, yeah. And he bangs his way to January 23rd, I think, 21st, where he meets Leon Edwards. Now, let me talk about this fight, because right now, yeah, what is gonna happen if Khamzat wins? His stock is gonna go from here, and it's gonna go all the way up, all the way, because he's beaten the number 3 ranked welterweight in the world. Yeah, Leon Edwards though is no Leon Edwards fact is not a stepping stone. He is not a stepping stone. If you think Leon Edwards is a stepping stone, you're living in a different country. Listen, Leon Edwards is one of the best welterweights in the world. It's just the UFC have had a problem with finding him fights. If Leon Edwards fought Jeff Neal, I would not complain about that at all. I would not complain about it because the UFC were having trouble finding Jeff Neal fight, and I would not complain about Leon Edwards versus Jeff Neal. But no, comes up, makes a call out on Twitter, and who answers it? Leon Edwards. Yeah, Leon Edwards comes at Chimaev. That's the way the UFC have set it out, and that's the way the UFC are gonna lay it out for January 21st, after 1 week after Holloway Qatar. Leon Edwards and Khamzat Chimaev, the Dagestan, the Russian, the Russian phenom, I would say overnight sensation, is Khamzat Chimaev against a veteran in Leon Edwards. Only lost 1 fight in the UFC, and that was to the champ, Kamaru Usman. Leon Edwards is coming on a mission. Leon Edwards is coming to not tear Khamzat's head off. He's looking to expose the holes in Khamzat's game. He's looking to show, yo, this ain't no joke, man. You're fighting top 3, and I'm not top 3 for nothing. That's what Leon Edwards is going to show Khamzat Chimaev. Then you got Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor 2. 6 years in the making. Let me tell you what 6 years in the making gets you, fam. Yeah? 6 years in the making gets Conor McGregor fighting once every 2-3 years, and it gets Dustin Poirier busting his ass. He's beaten countless former world champions. He's beaten the cream of the crop while Conor McGregor's been on a beach, been on a yacht, yeah? Been here, been there, been woo, 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 been everywhere but in the fucking octagon, yeah? Dustin Poirier's been in the octagon and he's in his prime. He's not scared of this shit anymore. He's got jacked up, yeah? In the past 3-4 years, Dustin Poirier has looked phenomenal, in phenomenal shape. This is why I've been placing my bets on Dustin Poirier heading into this fight. But Conor McGregor, fam, all right, cool. We put aside the smoke and mirrors. We put aside the fancy suits. Put aside the fancy ass sunglasses. Put aside this, yeah? Bro, Conor McGregor is legit, yeah? He is legit. If you put aside the microphone, you put aside the suit, everything, yeah? Everything fancy about Conor, take it away. Put it here and throw it away, yeah? Conor McGregor is legit. He is a legit martial artist. This boy is one of the most technically beautiful strikers to watch in the UFC, in MMA, period. Yeah? He's revolutionized his own striking style with alongside the greats who have revolutionized styles, like John Jones, Israel, Anthony Pettis. And now Conor McGregor's revolutionized his own style of just technical striking. His movement is absolutely fantastic. His kicks, but if he thinks he's gonna starch Dustin Poirier again in the first round, you got another fucking thing coming, boy. Dustin Poirier is one of the best boxers in MMA. Period. One of the best boxers. His hands are so fast, crisp. Once he gets you in his sight, he will change levels on you. He will use beautiful Muay Thai, yeah, to neutralize you and reduce your mobility. He won't let you circle across and around the cage. He will walk you down like a predator, and he will throw his hands in such a way that is unbeknownst to any opponent in that lightweight division. He did it to Max Holloway. He did it to Dan Hooker. He did it to Anthony Pettis. He's done it to some of the greats. Yeah? And you can tell how good he is. He's not only a striker, he's not only a wrestler. Great submissions. If he catches Conor in a fucking guillotine, we all know how well Conor McGregor does inside submissions, right, folks? He doesn't do well. So if you catch him in a guillotine, tighten that shit up, bomba clock, there's your winner, bro. And then we have a division I love. A division I love. Folks, before we get into the divisional breakdowns here, yeah, the 3 Fight Island events that kick off 2021 for the UFC don't stop at McGregor Poirier. It doesn't stop at Holloway in Qatar. It doesn't stop at Chimaev and Edwards. If you want to hear that full breakdown of those cards, yeah, and I'm telling you right now, it's worth it every second. Tune in to MMA Reloaded on Instagram, and I will break it down. I break down the card fight by fight by fight by fight. Yeah, folks, and I'm going to be doing that for 2021. My fingers are going to get busy on IG, posting to you guys, giving you all the rundown of the fights from the Fight Pass prelims to the televised prelims to that main card, all the way slap down to the main event. So, folks, like I was saying, divisional breakdowns. First, folks, I want to go to featherweight. Yeah, let me just go to the featherweight ranks. So, folks, we all know Holloway fights Qatar. That's number 1 versus number 6, right? 1 year. It's been 1 year. Yair Rodriguez hasn't fought. Yeah. God knows how long. Yeah. Zabit hasn't fought. Alright. The only other featherweights that have impressed me so much was Brian Ortega. And I've got to say, Brian Ortega impressed the hell out of me, and he's ranked number 2 right now. And you best believe Brian Ortega will face the winner of is right there in that picture. If he's not getting the next shot at the belt before Max Holloway or Calvin Kattar, then he's fighting the winner of Holloway and Kattar to see who gets the belt. And I would love to see Holloway versus Ortega too. That it would be a remake, a relive, a rewrite of a classic, no doubt. Then you go a bit lower down, yeah, folks. Bryce Mitchell. What can you say about Bryce? Bryce Mitchell is a phenomenal competitor. Phenomenal. They were saying, folks, earlier today about how Arnold Allen failed to get an opponent, or the UFC struggling to find an opponent for Arnold Allen. Now, the mighty Arnold Allen is a beast. This young stud, yeah, is one of the brightest mixed martial artists in the world. He's a young vet. 16-1. Bryce Mitchell 14-1. Match them up and get it on. I think that would be a magnificent clinic of jiu-jitsu. It would be a magnificent clinic of natural athleticism and young sensations ready to do whatever it takes to be the best. Sodiq Yusuff. Now, I was thinking Sodiq Yusuff versus Edson Barboza. You got Yusuff at 10, Barboza at 15. Sodiq Yusuff, I think, would have a great fight with Jeremy Stephens. Seeing as 2020 was the year of the breakout stars, I don't think that's got to stop when we enter 2021. I think Sodiq Yusuff versus Jeremy Stephens, let's get that shit rolling. What happens to the Korean Zombie? I'll tell you what happens to the Zombie. What happens to the Korean Zombie is he fights Josh Emmett. Now, I'll tell you why, yeah, he fights Josh Emmett, yeah, and I'll tell you that right now. Josh Emmett, bro, is a fucking beast, yeah? He's coming up beautifully against Shane Burgos. Now, what Josh Emmett does so well, and I think that's why I think him versus the Korean Zombie will be such a great fight. It'll be a brawl for all, yeah, for both men. I think what Josh Emmett and Korean Zombie, that'd be a great fight. Then you've got Hakeem Dawodu in there as well. And I think what Hakeem Dawodu now faces Shane Burgos in his next fight. I think it's about fucking time Hakeem the Dream Dawodu gets a real gets a real rank test, gets a legit test, a sensation just like himself, a dynamic fighter just like he is in Shane Burgos. That would be a show stealer. That is going to be a show stealer on Fight Island. Then you have, yeah, folks. Then you have the lightweights. Yeah, folks. And those of you who are saying Tony Ferguson is washed up, y'all need to go to rehab right now. Y'all need to go to rehab. Get your asses bam to rehab, yeah? Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Tony Ferguson, without a doubt, shadow of a doubt, is perhaps still the greatest, one of the greatest threats to the belt there is. Bro, you win 12 fights in a row. And so all of a sudden you lose 2 against probably 2 of the best lightweights in the world, in Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje, and all of a sudden people think you're washed up. Bro, let me tell you something. if they looking at age, y'all need to shut up. Because age is just a number, fam. Age is just a number, fam. I'll tell you that now. In MMA, age is just a number. The fighter, alright, cool. Fighting, our business. Yeah? Mixed martial arts is violent. Yeah. And it takes a toll. It has an effect on the fighter, on their health. But it depends on how good the fighter keeps themselves. Regular physio, regular psychiatric help if you need it from a sports psychologist, great nutrition. Tony Ferguson is shredded here. He's mentally strong. Then he just needs to he's put that all together to make one of the greatest careers in lightweight history. You look at Jacare Souza still doing his thing. Yeah? At 41 years old. You look at Frankie Edgar still doing his thing. Alright? And then folks, Tony Ferguson, I believe, will come back. Justin Gaethje, of course, at number one. But what happens to Justin Gaethje? Justin Gaethje has been touted with Michael Chandler facing Michael Chandler facing off with Dan Hooker next up. Yeah, Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker. Folks, just take your time, yeah, to marinate that a little. Marinate it. Yeah, rub that shit in, yeah, to your mind, right? Rub it in, yeah. Dan Hooker versus Michael Chandler. Dan Hooker stands in at number 6 in the ranks, right? Or number 7. He's just below Charles Oliveira right now. Dan Hooker versus Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler, folks, is one of the biggest signings in the UFC, in UFC's lightweight history. Bar none. 3-time Bellator lightweight champion. Along with Eddie Alvarez, he godfathered that division. He godfathered it. To be a 3-time champion, any promotion is something to behold. But when we look at Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker, I have to favor Dan. Dan is not a slouch on the ground if he gets taken down. He's got great, cheeky, sneaky submissions. He's long. He knows how to use his reach. He's been in that situation against shorter fighters before. Then when you see Michael Chandler, you see one of the best natural athletes in MMA. You see a beautiful wrestler, powerful striker. We've seen him against Ben Henderson in a great series of fights. We've seen him against Eddie Alvarez in perhaps fights that put Bellator on the map in the first place. That fight is going to be absolutely crazy, folks. Then, with Tony Ferguson losing to Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje, I was thinking we put Justin Gaethje versus Charles Oliveira for the lightweight championship, right? For the lightweight title, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, those two men with so much to prove and coming off wins over Tony, yeah, you have to think that sort of eliminates, that sort of puts Tony a peg down, it puts them to a peg up, and it puts Charles Oliveira like this. So say this is Tony, Charles Oliveira goes back, he slides just above Tony. Yeah, I think that puts Charles Oliveira at number 2, and I think Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje would be a fantastic fight to home a new lightweight champion in the UFC. And I want to give a shout out to Khabib Nurmagomedov. His reign, his streak, his record, his performances were legendary. Of course, early in his career, he had a lot of criticism. A lot. Yeah, there was a lot of criticism of Khabib in his fights with Abel Trujillo, his first UFC fight with Kamal Charles, the Rafael dos Anjos fight. There was a lot of criticism, but he sort of took that criticism on the noggin, you know. and he come in and he defends his belt. He shows that, hey, I can fucking do it. This is who I fucking am, and I'm gonna fucking wreck anybody, yeah, that tries to get in my way. And he did. He proved everybody wrong. He said, I'm not just some humper. I'm not just a backpacker. I'm a mauler. I am more people, yeah, and that's what I do. And then, folks, we take away the lightweights and we bring in the welterweights. Now, the welterweight division, who do we have? Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who called out Jorge after a beautiful performance against Jeff Neal. He calls out Jorge Masvidal. Yeah, a beautiful performance. That performance against Jeff Neal orchestrated that fact that Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is not a gatekeeper. He ain't no stepping stone. He is not a guy to be trifled with. And if you want someone to market in your UFC welterweight division, he's a man. He is that man. He's got the look, the talent. He is not old. 38. He looks great. He's still putting on beautifully fantastic performances. Yeah. And let me tell you something. He beat Jorge Masvidal. Yeah? Let's not forget that. He beat Masvidal. Now, with a new reinvented Jorge Masvidal, will he still beat him? Maybe. It would be a great striking matchup. I have to say, it would be a great striking fight. What Jorge Masvidal does now, how he's changed his game up, how he's become a lot more active with his feet. But when he used to just be a boxer before, he's become so much more active there with his feet. He's throwing good body kicks. He's mixing it up a lot more. Masvidal's coming off one of the most controversial. Okay, no. Scratch that. It's not controversial. Coming off his welterweight championship shot loss against Kamaru Usman. Of course, it was taken on short notice, but acclaimed a lot of criticism from the fans about Kamaru's performance, which I thought was beautiful. One of his best championship performances. Listen, folks, if you're a champ, right? Right here, you got the gold. You're a man. Yeah, you would do anything you have to keep it. You would work so hard to force your opponent into mistakes. You would work so hard to take advantage of their disadvantage. You would work so hard to use your strengths against their weaknesses. That's what Kamaru Usman did. Bro, what do you expect a champion to do when he's defending his title on 2 weeks' notice? Yeah, or what? Days' notice, I think it was. It was days' notice, right? 48 hours. You know, what do you expect the champion to do? You expect him to go out there and use what brought him to the dance without having fully prepared for the camp. Yeah, you expect that of the opponent as well. The opponent's in that same stage. Yeah, but I'm just saying to you, that's just how it works. And that's what Kamaru Usman did. I think Wonderboy versus Masvidal is a great fight. But they're looking at Masvidal versus Covington. Colby Covington has put on excellent, excellent performances. Yeah, this guy has proven. I think he's one of the guys that the UFC fans now look at as, hey, Colby's gonna starch that guy. Colby's gonna starch that guy. He's gonna starch that guy. Where before he was just this guy who talked up a big game to become somebody. Right? He talked up a big game to become somebody in the UFC. And now that he's put together his mouth and his performances in the UFC, we're seeing a whole new ball game in the welterweight division. And I think the winner of Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns takes on Colby Covington. Ain't no doubt about that. Ain't no doubt. Also, folks, 2021, we heard from Tyron Woodley's manager, where he said that 2021 Tyron is looking to come back strong. Of course, there was a whole shit where he posted the word cut on his Snapchat. and people thought that he was cut from the UFC. Bullshit. You do not cut someone like Tyron Woodley from the UFC. You don't cut someone like Tony Ferguson from the UFC. You don't do that. Okay? You don't do that. There are a lot of other guys with worse records on record. Yeah, that deserve to be cut. that are not even world class guys, man. And they deserve to be cut. So also, folks, having said that, yeah, and having now wrapped up 2020, wrapping up 2020 as we come to the last 3 days of this tragic year, which has left us all in despair. It's left us all with unanswered questions, left us all praying for our lives of our friends and family, left us all with moments to remember and a lot of moments to forget. 2020, of course, folks, my heart goes out to everybody and anybody who has lost family and friends due to COVID, or this year, if you've lost family and friends in general, my heart still goes out to you, and my heart will always go out to you, man. For real, I'm a genuine guy. I just say that to say it. Also, folks, 2020, folks, tune in and take a look at our 2020, our first annual MMA Reloaded 2020 Awards, where I've had a lot of backblow. I've had a lot of blowback about some of the awards that I gave out and to who I gave them out to. Like saying the fighter of the year was Deiveson Figueiredo. Listen, Deiveson Figueiredo, no doubt about it, is my fighter of the year. There is no doubt about that. Folks, take a look at our MMA Reloaded awards we've done for the UFC, and then today, folks, and then last night we gave the awards to Bellator fighters as well for their 2020. And this is what I'm thankful for, folks, is that MMA, the NFL, the NBA, if you're in England like myself, if you're in the UK like myself, football games, we've had such despair that just little things like sports and sporting events, things that give us joy and pleasure, are still coming on TV. Yeah, I'm all for that, man. And I thank you to Dana White, thank you to Scott Coker, thank you to LFA and Cage Fury, all these promotions that are putting on shows for us during this time. Also, folks, to wrap it up, I would just like to say thank you. Yeah, I would like to say thank you. 4 years ago, no, not even that, 5 years back, not even that, 7 years now it's been. 7 years ago, folks, I built MMA Reloaded, or I began building MMA Reloaded in 2013, 2014, I built MMA Reloaded. And I just want to say that from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to you all. 2020 is not only the year that I started our website, MMAReloaded.co.uk, is one of my best and biggest achievements I have ever made, I've ever done in my life. My best and one of my biggest achievements, to start our own website, to verify myself. Also, 2020 gave us a chance to expand and grow on social media and interact with some of the greatest fighters in MMA, some of the greatest young lions in MMA today via our podcast, MMA Reloaded World Tour. It's on YouTube, folks, right here. Once you watch this video and you watch our second episode of On the Mic, you will see links to our podcast. and click it up, man. We've done podcast, folks, with some of the greatest young fighters coming up now in the UFC, like Jerome Rivera, Johnny Munoz, Gabriel Green. You know, I've hit up fighters like Jamie Varner, former WEC lightweight champion, Anthony Andrikawani, veteran of the WC UFC, now in the now one. You know, folks, Rafion Stutz, one of the biggest, one of the best bantamweights in the world today. Jonel Lugo, undefeated Bellator bantamweight. I've hit up so many great fights for 38 episodes. 38 episodes, folks, since April. And I want to thank you all who've tuned in. I want to thank the fighters. Yeah, folks, there are no staff to thank around. There's no one, no cameraman, no nothing. There's just me. Yeah, I'm Arjun. I'm the owner and founder, CEO, operator, the king of MMA Reloaded, the young Rogan of MMA social media. And you have been watching MMA Reloaded on the mic, episode 2. Have a great 2021, folks. Don't forget to join the revolution with MMA Reloaded shirts. Live right now, MMA Reloaded.co.uk, eBay, Shopify, wherever you get clothes, we there, man. Don't forget to have a look at this. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And I appreciate you all. Have a good new year. Have great holidays. Thank you.